Welcome to Chanakya, where you get the right guidance at the right time. My name is Vasu. Today I have my fellow coach Vishu with me. Hi Vishu.
Hi Vasu. So what are we going to talk about today?
Today I'm going to bring in a question from Deepak, who is a project manager, going to be moving into a role of the Scrum Master. His question is very specific. He wants to know what does he need, what does he have to change in himself to be able to perform this role.
Okay. So has he gone through any trainings towards Agile, Scrum, becoming Scrum Master? Is there any preparatory work he has done or is still very fresh?
Yeah, that's a good question. He has gone through Agile Scrum workshop. Actually, he's part of an organization which is undergoing Agile transformation. There are about 20 teams and 4 teams have already moved to Scrum. His is the 5th team. This organization doesn't believe in certification, so he's not a certified Scrum Master. But the course content was quite comprehensive. More and about that, he's very enthusiastic. He's been talking to people who have moved to Scrum. He's been watching videos, going through articles and reading books on Agile.
Okay. I think that's good. That helps. In fact, to become a Scrum Master, understanding Scrum methods, processes, going through initial training is very necessary. But I would say it's necessary but not yet sufficient, because Scrum Master role is actually kind of a leadership role. It's not just about running daily stand-ups or sprint planning or retrospectives. Beyond the mechanics, it's actually about creating high-performing teams, creating self-organizing teams, which requires some kind of a leadership skill, which requires a transition from a typical project manager role where it's a little bit of command control to a more facilitative leadership style. I think that's one of the key things the Deepak will have to pick up.
So Vishu, you are saying that he has to move to a facilitative leadership role. That's the change he has to bring in.
Yes.
But why facilitative leadership?
Okay, I think that's a good question. I think it's important to understand why. See, in software industry, we are dealing with essentially knowledge workers. So it's about a lot of thinking oriented complexity. In fact, we had seen a survey or a study where we had seen a trend of, if there is the type of work being done is a low complexity work, for example, like construction workers. A one supervisor can manage for about say 25 construction laborers, whereas for a mechanical engineering kind of work, one supervisor for 10 mechanical engineers. When it comes to electrical, it's about say one supervisor for every 5 electricians. So as we see, as complexity increases, supervision kind of increasing. So if you now extend that analogy, for a software engineer, it's a very high complex skill. Almost it's like one supervisor needed for every one engineer.
Wow.
Which is not practical. In other words, what it means is that every engineer has to become self-supervised. So that's how there is a lot of emphasis on developing self-supervised individuals and self-managed teams. So that's the essence in making a high-performing teams.
Okay, so what you are saying is that he has to become aware that managing knowledge workers is different. And then, they have to be self-supervising. Not only he has to become aware, the team also needs to become aware.
Yes.
Okay, after understanding this, what does he do next?
So how does he become or change into a self or a facilitative leadership style?
Right.
I think that's an important thing. Typically what happens is project managers have been more a directive leadership, command control, tell the engineers what to do. They plan and they tell what to do, assign tasks. On the other hand, here the expectation is that teams will do planning, estimation, tracking, they take up work. To build that kind of team, Deepak will have to shift into more of an asking mode rather than a telling mode. I think shifting into power of question, asking right questions to the team members so that they come up with solutions, answers, they take ownership. So that's the way he can develop his facilitative leadership skill.
Okay, so you are telling that by asking, he'll ensure that every team member thinks and then acts after thinking, and that will help the team members go towards self-supervising and then to self-organizing team.
Correct.
I think, but this will take a lot of time, isn't it, Vishu?
Yes, it is kind of a change process. It's a change which Scrum Master has to go through as well as the team. In fact, it's like letting go by the Scrum Master and taking up by the team members has to happen in a synchronous way. Otherwise, what happens, teams may not take up, then Scrum Master thinks that I am still responsible at the end, so let me take back the control. Or Scrum Master wants to give up or empower the teams, but teams doesn't take the ownership. So it could lead to this disconnect or dysfunction, which may not sustain this transition. Also, sometimes team members may come back to Scrum Master asking for solutions, answers. Again, Scrum Master to be aware and say that, push it back to them and ask questions so that they come out with solutions. So that's the way it needs to be sustained, so that over a period this culture change happens.
Okay, anything more to sustain on processes and artifacts?
Yes, one more important thing is that Scrum Master as well as the team has to understand more and more of the whys of doing Agile. It's not just the mechanics, why we should be doing certain way. The principles and philosophies and the values behind Agile and Scrum methods. So they have to really understand that as a knowledge worker context. That is very essential so that they don't get stuck with only mechanics. I think this is very important for the sustainability.
Good, Vishu. That was a nice discussion. Let me try to summarize.
Sure.
So first is, to start with, the Scrum Master should be formally trained on Agile Scrum, because it's not just about following a set of processes, it's much more than that. There are cultural and soft aspects associated with it. Second point is, Deepak has to understand and internalize that managing knowledge workers is different. They have to be self-supervised. Thirdly, he should ask more and tell less. Asking appropriate questions leverages the thinking of the team, helping them move towards being self-supervising as well as being self-organizing. Lastly, over and above following the processes and using the Scrum artifacts, he has to ensure that he understands whys of it as well as the underlying principles behind it. Vishu, would you like to add anything to it?
I think that's a pretty much good summary.
Thank you, Vishu. So I think to-be Scrum Masters like Deepak would find these experiential insights very useful for themselves. Thank you for joining us.